Greetings and salutations from the Surf Tectonics channel, and I'm your host Silent J. Today we'll be going over a Star Wars issue. In this video we will answer the elusive questions of how many starfighters are in a Rebel Alliance squadron. So we will be using Rogue One for data number examples. And personally, I thought this was the only Disney Wars movie that was actually good, and I will just leave it at that. In Star Wars Rebels, squadron strength varied from 6 to 12 starfighters, occasionally accompanied by 4 to 6 Y-wing type bombers. But in Rogue One, the Alliance had gathered their forces and had to implement larger flexible squadrons for high-value target strikes, whereas previously hit-and-run raids were used with smaller squadron formations. The Rebel attack on the Imperial Weapons Facility on Eadu is what we will use for this breakdown. If you are unfamiliar with this attack bombing run, I suggest you watch Rogue One, but you can definitely watch this video first. And also, I apologize if I sound congested, but I recently have become quite allergic to my cat the last 2 or 3 years, and my cat is 9 years old. And since he is probably more intelligent than Garfield, well, I'm just gonna have to be congested. General Drayden, commander of Rebel Intelligence, ordered the attack on Eadu with secret approval from Mon Mothma, with elements of gray, green, and red squadron comprising of 30 X-Wings and 14 Y-Wings by my frame-by-frame fighter count, and the tactical squadron was commanded by Lieutenant General Akbar. The official name of this formation would be a tactical squadron wing, because it is just a few fighters short of an actual wing, but for simplification purposes they just referred to a squadron leader. Okay, so let's take a look at this frame by frame of the assault on the weapons facility of Eadu that was critical for the development of the first Death Star. Now we can see this first frame. There is 7 X-Wings and 1 Y-Wing. First of all, the first thing I thought why would the X-Wings have their running lights on? Well, if you look closely at the first Y-Wing, which is labeled Y1, and by the way, Y-Wings will be labeled Y, and X-Wings will be labeled X, you can see that you can barely see its 2 ion engines. That's because it is blacked out. Now let's skip ahead a few scenes to where you can see the reason why the Y-Wings are blacked out. That is because that is the principal bomber ship that is going to destroy the facility, and you can see at the bottom there is 2 escort X-Wings with their running lights on. Now Let's look at this first scene again. So why would this Y-Wing be all the way at the front of the Vanguard or the Pathfinder element of the squadron? That is because this Y-Wing is filled with ECM jamming equipment, probably along with another X-Wing, and it is jamming Imperial sensors. So when they come in for the attack run, all the Imperials will have is visual targeting, and the X-Wings are purposely sacrificing their targets to protect their capital bombers. Now this is an example of writing in a movie where they either researched military flying tactics or they were smart enough to have military advisors advise them how this scene should be shot.
Dogfighting at 500 miles an hour, Pisanos and the 4th Fighter Group take evasive maneuvers to protect the bombers.
Versus The Last Jedi. The beginning of The Last Jedi looked like it was written by middle school kids that have no idea about military tactics or strategy, and I will digress because we might touch on it later, or enough said, because it's just beating a dead horse to compare Last Jedi military tactics, because it's basically non-existent. So here we go. The first frame, we got 7 X-Wings, 1 Y-Wing. Remember, this is going by fast, so I'm going frame by frame. This next one, it is still the Vanguard flight. The Y-Wing has passed by and a first X-Wing, which is likely the ECM jammers, and now we see the 3rd, 4th, and 5th X-Wing. And we see Chimlet and his machine gun friend, which personally, I think Chimlet was Kanan from Star Wars Rebels, the blind Jedi that kind of disappeared. Nobody knows if he died or not. I think he just took Chimlet's identity, and if you don't know who Kanan is, don't worry about it, because I don't really know the details about him either. So let's go on to the next one. Now we can see we are still on the Vanguards flying by, but we have X9 and X10 coming around for the tail end of the Vanguard flight. And Chimli again with machine gun friend. And now these yellow X's represent the X-Wings we have already seen. So this is the last of the 8-10 Vanguards. And now we get X11 and X12. On to the next one. These are X-Wings are flying by really fast. There's one more X-Wing from the previous shot, and we get X13 and 14. So right now we're at 13 X-Wings and the front Y-Wing. And now we get a frontal shot of Chimlet. He's hearing what's going on, what's going on around him. We get the X14 with the yellow X, and 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So we got 20 total, 19 X-Wings and 1 Y-Wing. On to the next one. Chimlet again, and that other flight of ships, Starfighters, have already went by, and now we get 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 X-Wings and 2 Y-Wings, which is Y26 and Y27 in the corner. And it's because they are hard to see because they are blacked out. So right now we are at 24 X-Wings and 3 Y-Wings. Okay, and this is the first strike flown by. We got 3 X-Wings from previously. And this one is out of order. I'm sorry, it's not out of order. I lost count. So we get the blackout Y-Wings, the Y-29, Y-30, Y-31. So sorry, that was not out of order. I was out of order. So now we're at 25 X-Wings and 6 Y-Wings. Alright, let's go. They're bombing away, bombing away. The first strike has been landed. And we can see X-33, X-35, X-32, and 2 more Y-Wings because you see the 2 ion engines. That's all you can see because once they fly by, they have already dropped their proton torpedoes or other ordnance. So right now it's at 28 X-Wings and 8 Y-Wings. I'll flash this one, but I want to go here first because this is actually before. So the Imperials are scrambling. They're launching TIE fighters. You can see this is actually Y-Wing 44 because I noticed it at the end and I couldn't get it in the same frame. And if you look down at the bottom, you can see the 2 slow flying X-Wing tail end Charlie escorts. Now let's look at the final shot, and we have, you look at the top Y-37, you can see a Y-Wing cut off at the top there, Y-38, Y-Wing 39, and Y-Wing 40. And the really hard one to see is Y-Wing 41. Of course, we get the X-42 and the X-43. So the grand total is 30 X-Wings and 14 Y-Wings in the final count of mixed elements of Gray Squadron, Green Squadron, and Red Squadron. And one more reason why the X-Wings would have their running lights on, because while they are jamming Imperial sensors, they could have background signals interfering with their own sensors. So they will have to maneuver quickly to dodge incoming fires, so they need to be able to see one another. And also, this is not the end of the attack, the first run attack. Now the first 20 or so ships are looping around to come back to make a second bombing run attack to see if they can still get the Imperials by surprise. So that's what we will look at next, what happens. So here is the first shot of the second bombing run, where Imperial countermeasures are trying to break through Rebel jamming, and we can see 3 X-Wings and a blacked out Y-Wing. This second shot here, we can see the Imperial turbo lasers has hit 1 X-Wing that has crashed into a ridge side, and there is also 2 other X-Wings off to the side. And the third shot, we can see X-Wings flying in the background, and this X-Wing has been hit by another turbo laser volley, and this X-Wing has peeled off and is taking evasive maneuvers. This fifth shot, we can see another X-Wing that has been provided with cover fire of an exploding TIE fighter behind it. In this sixth shot, we can see 4 X-Wings that have already fired another volley onto the weapons facility, and Krennic's shuttle is still unhit. The seventh shot, finally they have destroyed the weapons facility, and we see the 18th and 19th X-Wings peel off. And this last shot of 18 X-Wings and 1 Y-Wings on the third bombing run attack shows the last 9 X-Wings that are withdrawing up into orbit and into hyperspace. And just to clarify, the second attack run of 19 X-Wings and 1 Y-Wings was the a element of the original tactical squadron of 30 X-Wings and 14 Y-Wings. So let's count the losses. So on screen we saw 2 X-Wings that were destroyed by turbo volley laser fire. We'll go with 3 X-Wings and 1 Y-Wings were lost out of the 44 Starfighters. Okay, so these frames, I just want to prove I didn't use the same Starfighters twice, because this is from the vantage point of the Imperials when they are getting attacked by the first wave. So there's 6 in this blurred shot with Director Krennic looking. Next one, 6 X-Wings and 1 Y-Wing. This one we got 5 X-Wings and 2 Y-Wings. Here's another 3 X-Wings on the first attack run. For some reason they can't hit Director Krennic's ship. And here is 3 more. They still have not hit Director Krennic's ship. And 2 more on the first attack run from different angles. And now we're at 28 X-Wings, and those are not counted for the original count of 30 X-Wings and 14 Y-Wings. After destroying the facility on Eadu, General Akbar split the tactical wing into 4 squadron elements, weaving in and out of warp lanes and star systems to reach rebel outposts and avoiding the half-dozen Imperial destroyers in heavy pursuit. First Green Squadron element was intercepted by 2 TIE Fighter squadrons, resulting in 2 X-Wings damaged and 3 Y-Wings destroyed during the engagement. They continued to avoid and mislead the Star Destroyers for over 36 hours, and the squadron was not available for the attack on Scarif. 32 of the original 44 Rebel fighters made it back to Yavin 4, with another 2 X-Wings making emergency landing on Rebel outposts. A few days later, 25 combat-ready X-Wings, along with 12 Y-Wing fighters from the Battle of Scarif and the attack on Eadu, were combined to form the Red and Gold Squadron Strike Wing for the attack on the Death Star near Yavin 4. As a result of Admiral Raddus and the Vice Admiral being lost in action over Scarif, General Akbar was promoted to Acting Admiral. So that's my final analysis of the number of starfighters in the tactical squadron ring used for the attack on Eadu. What do you think? Am I completely wrong? Did I miscount? Feel free to comment, like, dislike, and subscribe. And thanks for watching. Oh my gosh. Are you freaking serious? I knew it was going to be something outrageously stupid, but Galaxy Killer Base? No. The Emperor. Holy macaroni, Batman.